Hi guys, what's happening? My name is Kumucho Munene, aka Kenji McStoner, and yeah, guys, what brings me here today is actually not so good news, It's actually sad news. We lost an icon, born and bred in South Africa. We lost somebody very important to the hip-hop culture in South Africa and music in general, because he was making amapiano songs and stuff like that. And I know you all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mr. Keenan Forbes, aka. Yeah, before I get into what happened on the 10th of February 2023, I'm just gonna give you a little breakdown on who AKA was and the things that he's done. So AKA was born in 1988, and then in 2002, AKA along with his friends Vice Versa and Greyhound, they formed a hip-hop group called Entity. And actually, Entity got a nomination for Best African Hip Hop at the Cora Awards, and then Entity, unfortunately, they disbanded, and then AKA went and studied sound engineering. In 2006, AKA co-founded the production collective called the Ivy League, and I know you know who the Ivy League are. I'm sure you've heard him say, yeah, that's the Ivy League we're talking about. He co-founded this production collective with two of his other friends. They actually have some big production credits, hey? Artists that they've worked with include Kulichana, Pro-Kid, and JR. Actually, if you go back and look at some of the video footage of Pro-Kid back in the day in the studio doing his thing, AKA was there in the background, like you can see him. He was in the studio sessions with the dude. In 2009, he released 3 singles. One of them was In My Walk.
You see that? Right there. You see that in my walk?
I Do, and Mistakes.
Excuse me, young love, I know I made a few mistakes in my life.
July 2010, AKA released the song I Want It All.
I want it all, from the sky to the ground when they hit the floor,
which was the lead single from his debut studio album, Alter Ego. The album also pre-released 2 singles, which were All I Know.
See me in the club, I'm in my office clothes. No plan B, this is all I know.
And Victory Lap.
Hands up on my victory lap. Hands up on my victory lap. Toast to the winner.
And to be honest, those were the first songs that I ever heard from AKA. And this was back in 2010. I was still in high school. I remember we didn't know who this dude was. All of a sudden, there was a dude called AKA, colored guy, handsome, young, tall. Was like, hey, where is he coming from? But those 2 songs is how I know AKA. So Victory Lab actually was a big song from that album. Topped so many local radio charts. It went crazy. Then Alter Ego was released in August 2011. The album was certified gold by RISA, Recording Industry of South Africa. It was certified gold for its commercial success. That album blew up so much. It was crazy. Actually, the album itself got so many accolades, so many awards. 2 of the most notable ones. He got the 2011 Metro FM Awards for Best Hip Hop Album. Then in 2012, he won the Summer Awards for Best Male Artist. Then in 2012, at the Summer Awards, he won Best Male Artist because of that album. That album was dope. It shook the South African hip hop industry. No cap at all. Take off your caps, pay homage to the super mega. Then he released his second studio album called Levels, June 2014. He released 4 singles for the album. First one was Jealousy. Then there was Control.
Had that goose in the boot, no dash. Quarter tank, 2 a.m. puff pass.
Featuring Deleuze. There was Congratulate. And Run Josie. Godly. And that one was featuring KO and Young. That album was certified platinum in 2014 and double platinum in 2018 by RISA. That album went crazy, dog. It was crazy. It caught on like wildfire. I remember how people were so hyped up the fact that they shut down the Mandela Bridge just to shoot that video. I remember people were going crazy, what the fuck? Like, people were going crazy. December 2016, he released the lead single, The World Is Ours, from his third studio album.
You played it safe, I raised the bar, amazing grace, I praise the Lord.
But because the album was a little delayed, he decided to collaborate with Anatii, and that album was called Be Careful What You Wish For. The album was released in July 2017. People were foxing with it. It was supported by 3 singles. It was 10 Fingers,
I'm getting money like the white fall.
10 fingers on the Bible.
Don't Forget to Pray,
Don't forget to pray. Yeah. Do you know that God is on the way?
and Holy Mountain.
With my dick.
It's another episode on my knees.
In 2016, he pre-released The World Is Ours, and he also pre-released a couple of other songs. He released a Kaifa song,
Running out of things I can prove myself. Way too busy winning, I'ma lose myself.
Star Signs featuring Stogie T,
I've been winning for a long time. I think it's written in my star signs.
and Sweet Fire in supporting the release of his third album, Touch My Blood. Concerning the album's front cover, AKA actually went to Twitter and announced a contest for graphic designers to design the album art for his album.
Did you see the Touch of My Blood, the challenge? With the covers?
Yeah.
That shit was genius, right?
Yeah.
That shit was straight up genius, man.
I mean, look. That shit is smart, right?
And that dude now works for me.
I think that's dope because I also create digital work like that, you get what I'm saying? And the fact that he was putting on people that people didn't really know to come up with new ideas and to put them on like that, I really think that he needs a round of applause for that. In 2019, it was certified double platinum. Then he released the 6th single, Fela in Versace,
You know they call me Fela in Versace.
with Kid Dominant. Yo, man, that song went crazy. That whole album was lit. And I mean lit. Matches, boy. That thing was lit. And Fela Versace, I feel was one of the songs that made him known in the rest of Africa. They knew that this dude called AKA in South Africa and he's doing the most. Fela in Versace was a big song. And actually the album was so crazy because it had so many names, South African big names in hip hop, including El Tito, JR, Young Chief, Stogie T, Questa, and
Okay, man, I'm cool cat.
And then in 2018, Forbes was featured on WWE live event in Cape Town and Johannesburg, bro. That dude was chilling with our Big Show, Young Tol, John Cena labo, Young Tol, John Cena, you can't see me. He was nah, all eyes is on me though. How can they see you? Cause all eyes is on me though. You get what I'm saying? Then in 2020, AKA actually collaborated with Cruz and they launched a watermelon flavored drink with his initials on it. You get what I'm saying? I think you can still even go in the stores and you see the AKA bottle. You get what I'm saying? I think maybe that's what I'm gonna be sipping coming next weekend, just to pour some out for the dead homies, you get what I'm saying? Pour some out for the legendary Super Mega. In 2021, right, he dropped an EP called Bovamania and it was supported by 4 singles, Energy,
I'm at the peak of my energies. I feel like Tony Montana.
Python,
I'm a big name, I'm an icon. I'm a big snake, I'm a python.
Monuments,
You know this ain't my first rodeo. I don't show love, but my photographer Romeo.
and Cross My Heart.
Cross my heart and hope to die. Will never be alone.
In the 10th ceremony of the SA Hip Hop Awards, he received a nomination for Artist of the Decade, guys. You know how long a decade is? It's 10 years, which means that nigga was 10 years deep in this. Doing the most 10 years, my dog. What you gonna say? What you gonna say, bro? That dude was a legend, dog. He was doing things that people only dream about, bro. In 2022, September, aka actually announced that he was dropping an upcoming 4th studio album, and the name was gonna be Mass Country. aka was still living his best life. Rest in peace, King. Rest in peace, Super Mega. It's never nice, man, to hear that somebody that young passed away, you know. I feel like he still had a lot to give, and he had already given us a lot. Rest in peace, my G. I know music evolves and it does all kinds of things, but honestly speaking, I feel like we'll never see another AKA. Now I'm just gonna touch a bit on what actually happened on the 10th of February 2022. AKA was chilling with a couple of his homies. He had some performances scheduled in Durban, and then they were chilling at a restaurant just enjoying themselves. There's actually a video of them like having some shots while at the restaurant, at the Wish restaurant. While he was there, he met an old friend, Tibelo Tibbs. So while they were outside, they were, you know, like away, dog. You know how it is with the emergency. And then while he was still hollering at the dude and they were still conversing, I think they were saying goodbyes, because according to the footage that I've seen, they were actually like about embracing, like cupping each other on, you know. And then it was like, you know what it is, my brother, what's good, dog. And then 2 gunmen, dog, from nowhere just come through. One blaster shot hit AKA, man. I think from how I saw it, he hit him in the head and AKA collapsed as soon as the shot rang. Everybody scattered. The gunmen ran one direction. You see, it was 2 dudes. In the CCTV footage, you can actually see AKA lying on the ground. Like, yo, guys, I saw the CCTV footage, and to be honest, I wish I didn't. Because, to be honest, guys, I am not good with seeing blood, seeing people die. I am not good with that. I have a weak stomach for that shit. Like, no cap. In the horror movies, it's okay, because you know that that's not real life. But once you see it real life, from what I saw in the video, like I said, they were cupping each other on, like his homies, like away, dog, away, was popping. I don't know what the conversation was, but you know, it was a friendly greeting, 2 friends greeting each other. I don't know how long they hadn't seen each other, but it looked like either they hadn't seen each other for long and they were not sure when they're gonna see each other again, because the embrace was like quite long, like it was quite like, yo, dog, you know when you see a homie, dog, like a homie, and you cup him on, like, you know, that brother love, you know what I'm saying, that homie love.
Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way.
These 2 homies just came through out of nowhere, dog. Blast some shots. Pop, pop. 1 shot hit AKA, and then also Tibbs, his friend, the one who was Khuntaring, the one who was saying away too, also passed away. And then AKA's bodyguard was also shot. For me, guys, when I think about the situation, like, one thing that like makes me feel a little some kind of type of other kind of way is the fact that his bodyguard was there, dog. His bodyguard was there. You are a bodyguard. That is your job description, bodyguard. But when you see the CCTV footage, bro, dude wasn't even close enough, dog, to guard his body. Like, he wasn't close enough to react to anything if anything happened, you get what I'm saying? And it was outside. Maybe I'm the one who was wrong. Maybe AKA told him, yo, just back off a bit. Let me talk to this dude. Let me holler at Tibbs because he's my homie. Maybe we want to talk about some confidential things that we don't want nobody to hear. But to me, when I saw the footage, like, the bodyguard was standing a little bit too far to be guarding a body. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it was my bodyguard, I'd tell him, hey, Ndota, why are you standing so far, dog? First of all, we are in a hood that is not our hood. We are all the way in Durban. And prior to AKA actually going to Durban, he had already got threats. Uguti, hey, do not come to Durban. Because if we see you in Durban, you're gonna have problems, dog. And the person that supposedly made those threats was Ubawaga Nelly. I don't know if you all know Nelly, but Nelly was actually AKA's fiance. The story with Nelly is Uguti, she passed away a few years back. It was claimed to be a suicide, right? But Nelly's father didn't believe the fact that it was a suicide. He believed that actually AKA had a hand in her losing her life. He wasn't satisfied with the fact that they were claiming that it was a suicide. He felt like something more darker and more sinister happened that night. AKA has always adamantly said that it was a suicide. She decided to jump and take her own life. But the father wasn't having it. From the get-go, it's public knowledge, dude wasn't taking it. He didn't believe those news. That's why even now people are accusing the father of Guti. He might have had a hand because Vele, the father, is a well-known businessman in Durban. He could have had the power to pull some strings and do this and get AKA, because AKA was in his hood, if we had to say it like that. AKA was in Natal. That's where he operates. So a lot of people are accusing him. It's speculation though. Nobody knows. It's not a fact. Please guys, don't take it as if I'm saying it's a fact. It's speculation. It's what people out there are saying right now. Another speculation that's come up is that AKA's friends, the people that he was actually with that night, had a hand in what went down, because they say that somehow it was some kind of setup, because Nota actually is one of the people that is pushing this narrative.
So this whole entire story of AKA and his friend who were killed were heading to a club. AKA and Tibbs were at two separate venues at two separate times with two different groups of people. They know each other. They step out and then they bump into each other. They greet as they're leaving. They're both leaving, going their separate ways. They hug and embrace because they hadn't seen each other in a long time. And because they're not planning to see each other later, so that's why they had a long hug and embrace. But either way, they're standing in formation. They stand right next to each other. Cool. Tibbs is the only one that's, Keenan was standing by himself. If you remove Tibbs from the picture and you realize that he was a third party that was added there, Keenan was actually standing by himself with his entire team watching him, but turning their heads and looking the other way right as the shot was fired. Even though they saw the guy approaching with a gun raised and everything else, and they didn't warn Keenan, and they looked out for the shooters first. Come on, guys.
Guys, I can't say anything about that. Like I said, it's all speculation. It's because, when something this tragic happens, everybody has a theory. Everybody is trying to figure out what is happening. Some people are quick to point fingers. I'm the type of guy who likes to let the truth unfold. Yeah, well, put 1 and 2 together, look at what has been put forward and make your own decisions, your own opinion. Everybody has the right to an opinion, but I feel like we should be careful about how we point fingers. Because even in this scenario itself, it's a lot of people getting pointed at. AKA's DJ, the friends, Nelly's father. Who knows in the next week or in the next year, if they do not find the killers, who knows what other theory might come through. For me, I can't really say much because I wasn't there. I really believe that the people that know the most about anything is the people that were there. So those dudes, the ones who were there that night, I'm sure somehow they did get a glimpse. They could help the cops figure out who actually did this crime, you get what I'm saying, who murdered AKA. I believe that they can. Because at the end of the day, the people that my heart goes out to is the Forbes family. Also, my heart goes out to Lil Cairo, who now she's gonna grow up without a father, man. And it's because somebody decided to take another human being's life. It's tough. And the fact that AKA was so young, guys, I feel like he still had a bright future ahead of him. Guys, let's just take time, go listen to some of AKA's past music just to remind yourself of what an influence he had on South Africa as a whole in hip-hop music, South African hip-hop music, which has always been sort of the underdog music genre in South Africa since it came to our shores. It was Kwaito, then it was house, now it's Mapiano. Hip-hop in South Africa is always underdog, but AKA was one of those people who were there waving the SA hip-hop flag, African hip-hop flag, and we appreciate that. AKA, thank you for standing up for the culture. Thank you for standing up for the kids that don't really have a voice. And I'm saying the people that were in the background come to the foreground and actually make a name for themselves. Thank you for that. I thank you for that, AKA. Respect, King. To show my appreciation, I actually made a little digital art kind of thing, just to honor the King. just to say, like, to show my appreciation for what he's done to me as a creative. You know, just seeing somebody being able to express themselves allows you to express yourself too, because you can see there's nothing to be afraid of. R.I.P. aka R.I.P. the King. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't want to get into too many things because all of it right now is speculation. All I pray for is that God lets the truth come out, because always like to bury the truth. It's part of our nature. But God is the one who loves the truth, so I believe that the truth will come out, and I'm hoping that it comes out sooner rather than later. So yeah, this is Kenji signing off. Please don't forget to subscribe, to switch on the notification bell so that you get my next videos that are coming out soon. Get them as they come. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a lot more coming through. Go check out the artwork that I did in commemoration, in respect to the King, to respect to the Super Mega. Please go check it out on my Insta. It's KenjiMcStoner, Kenji McStoner. That's it. Just type in Kenji McStoner on Insta. You're gonna see it. It's there on my feed. Thank you guys for everything that you did. Thank you guys for listening. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and yeah, man, get on this journey with me. Stay safe, stay blessed, and keep on loving. Peace.
That's how they got him.
Please, guys, do not say rest in peace, aka he can't rest in peace until we know who's responsible for his murder. Okay, I just want to say, Begi Tele, please don't go on screen on our TVs and say this is a high priority case, we're gonna investigate, because every time Begi Tele says this is a high priority case, we're gonna investigate, nothing happens. He said that about Senzo Meyiwa. He said that about the Tavern shootings. He's been saying that about so many murders and so many crimes, and nothing ever happens. We don't even want to see Begi Tele on screen. We don't want to hear anything he has to say. What we want is to lay AKA to rest and give the family time to heal, but the family must enlist the help of private security and private investigators so that they can find out who did this to AKA. The promoter must be investigated, because you can't just kill someone without knowing their movements. So we want to know the promoter. His cell phone must be seized, his laptop, all electronic devices must be seized. Those are the people we must start by investigating. That's the first person we must investigate. We can't just say rest in peace, aka rest in peace, and then next week we move on. Next week someone else dies. Rest in peace. No, not Super Mega. We loved AKA. Rest in peace to AKA. He's a beast. He's a problem. We're gonna stay listening to his music for days to come, for years to come. Our kids will know about AKA. All the people who are graffiti artists paint AKA all over the town. You know, we need to honor this man. He was a great man. May his family be strong, and may South Africa fight for what's right. We can't take this anymore. People are just dying like it's nothing. And then those who we trust to solve the problem, we will investigate. Please. We can't take it anymore. Rest in peace to Super Mega. But he must only rest in peace after we find out who did this. I'm out.